A very good evening to Doctor and all my fellow friends. Today we are going to present a phenomenological study. So before we start presenting more on the phenomenological study that we are going to do, let me introduce my team members. I'm Hanbarasi. We have Tarani, Sangita, and Benedict. So this is our research title, a phenomenological exploration of challenges faced by English teachers in rural schools and strategies for resilience. So, what is a research? According to Naidu 2011, research as an industrious, methodological investigation of nature and society to produce new knowledge as well as validate and improve already existing knowledge. So, what are the identified issue? So, the school is located in Kuala Kangsar, which is named SK Lempo, which consists of around 88 students of rural area students. There are only two optionist English teachers and one non-optionist English teacher who are teaching English for the whole school lah. Okay, so the issue identified is the instructors facing obstacles in implementing English in rural area school. As we all know, the exposure of English in rural area is quite less compared to the urban areas. So the most of the kids from these schools are don't have any exposure to English language. So it makes the English teachers to find difficult in implementing the language to the kids. So this is the issue that we identified in the school. So but based on the identified issue, we would like to conduct a research to examine the real-world experience of English instructors employed in remote school environments with a particular emphasis on a particular difficulties they face in their line of work. So our main aim is to identify what are the challenges that the instructors facing in implementing the English language and how they face this kind of challenge. What are the ways they overcome these challenges? So, based on this identified issue, we would like to conduct a qualitative research. So, what is qualitative research? Qualitative method is a challenging, systematic, and disciplined. It frequently provides a helpful alternative to quantitative research approaches. According to Small 2021, an ongoing process that aims to grab meaning, get close to individual as their circumstances, and make new distinctions. So based on the issue, under the qualitative study, we would like to use the phenomenological study. Okay, what is phenomenological study? Phenomenological study is a type of qualitative research that focuses on the examination of an individual's life experience within the world. According to Kagimu 2019, a phenomenological technique aims to characterize an issue rather than only explain it. So, in order to identify what are the challenges and what are the strategies that the English instructors in rural areas, we would like to do a phenomenological study in order to examine, to study their real life experience and what they are really experience in everyday teaching of English in the rural area school among the rural kids. Why phenomenology? Why cannot be other type of studies? So this is because first the we try and unearth these people's subjective viewpoints, perceptions, and feelings as they work thorough on the challenges of teaching English in remote locations and thorough investigation of life experiences, perceptions, and meanings can be accomplished through phenomenological investigation. So, through the phenomenological investigation, we can get an in-depth experience of the respondents. We can come up with valid data. So that's why we want to use a phenomenological study in order to identify the challenges that the teachers facing in rural area in teaching English language. And phenomenological study also can provide a thorough and in-depth description of life experience of instructors in rural school. So when we come up with a phenomenological study in rural schools among the teachers, it helps us to come up with a in-depth description, a valid data, a depth life experience of the teachers and the challenges that the teachers faced in the rural area school. With the focus groups and interviews, a common qualitative data collection technique, the researcher is able to obtain from teachers comprehensive and nuanced information yielding rich database for the study. So through the in-depth study of in on the research area, we will able to get a valid database, and also it will help for the further studies of everything. Okay, that's all from me. Let me pass to my next group member. Thank you.
Good day to all. I'm Sangeeta Rajasekaran here. I'll explain on unit analysis. Okay, first we are going to find what is the meaning of unit analysis. According to Trochim 2016, a methodological approach called unit analysis based on phenomenology aims to comprehend and interpret experiences by dissecting them into their basic units of analysis. Okay, in simple word, unit analysis is the process of dividing the gathered data into smaller or more manageable chunks for the interpretation and analysis. Okay, that is the meaning of the unit analysis. The next is on unit analysis of the research. Our topic is challenges faced by the English teachers at rural schools and also strategies for the resilience. For that, first, concentrate on the distinct experiences and viewpoints of every teacher by treating each narrative as an independent unit of analysis. When we treat each narrative as an independent unit of analysis, we can gather the answer from the teacher's individual backgrounds, experiences, and their personal beliefs. So we can get authentic answers, and based on that we can get the separate individual narrative from the teachers. Second will be methodically examine and code the data after the units of analysis have been determined. Okay, once we gather the data, once we gather the narratives, we do the analysis, then we code the narratives. That means when we read through the interview, we may find out the main points are there, so we make it as a coding there. Then, connecting disparate issues and strategies of clustering related stories according to the common themes. Now, we are going to compare the codes and the answers. When we compare it, we might find the similar themes among the answers. So, we cluster the answers into similar themes. That is number 3. Number 4 will be through a thorough analysis of each teacher's unique story, the researcher can develop a more sophisticated knowledge of how various teachers manage the pressures of their line of work. Once we find the coding, we do the themes, then we can find the answer for our research. So based on that, the researcher will gain the knowledge from the interview, from the answers after the unit analysis. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Tarni here, and my metric number is M2023-303. So it's my turn now to present on the procedures, which means the steps need to be taken by the researcher to make sure the reliability and the validity of the research. Now, let's look at the brief explanation on the procedures for our study, which is focused on the challenges faced by the English teachers who is teaching in rural area schools. So, in this phenomenological study, the researcher must take a systematic approach where it involves the interpretative method and the respondents' real experience within their particular circumstance. Okay, which means we are going to focus on their lived experience. Okay, the all the response and the answers from the respondents based on what they are going through. In this study, we are going to use Heidegger's hermeneutic circle to interpret the whole text. So here we can see three stages. The first will be examining narrative description of an experience, which means the initial understanding of the focus issue. And then stage 2, identifying the common themes, which can be taken from the coding of the respondents. And the next stage will be exploring universal expression of humanness, which is the depth understanding of the real phenomenon of the issue. Let's look at how we are going to apply the hermeneutic circle in this study. Okay, as I mentioned before, the first stage will be the basic understanding of the phenomenon. Okay, so for this, we are going to gather the preliminary data based on the focus issue. Like our issue is based on the challenges for the English teachers who is teaching in rural areas. So we are going to find out the studies or the research based on that and get to know the challenges that they are facing and the factors which affect the understanding of the language. Okay, we will get to know the initial understanding based on this focus issue. And the second will be the data collection on the phenomenological study. Okay, so we are going to use semi-structured interview to get the responses from the focused respondents, which will be the English teachers who are teaching in the rural areas. And then next will be performing interpretative analysis. So here will be where we will use the interpretation, the technique to interpret the whole data, the responses we are going to look at it, and we will interpret what is the real situation there. And then the data interpretation, which is based on the in-depth discussion with the participants, which will be the English teacher who are teaching in the rural area schools. And then the perception of the teacher's own lives influenced by their experience. Here, where we can look at the lived experience by the teachers. From that, we can really know how much they are struggling to teach the students from the rural area. And then we will get to know more information based on that. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Geraldine N. Anak Tedislia with metric number M2023-10278. Today, I'm here to share some innovative strategies or techniques that can help overcome the significant challenges faced by rural teachers in teaching English. In rural areas, teachers are often encounter limited resources, geographical isolation, linguistic diversity among students, and a general lack of interest in English. For the first techniques is our first technique focuses on leveraging technology and digital resources. In many rural areas, access to physical educational material is limited. However, almost everyone has a mobile phone. By utilizing free or low-cost educational apps like Duolingo or Khan Academy, along with educational YouTube channels, we can provide interactive learning experiences that are accessible to all. For all instance, a teacher could assign a Duolingo lesson as a homework, or use Khan Academy videos to supplement a lesson. Additionally, ebooks and online libraries can greatly expand our student access to needling materials, even the most remote areas. For the second techniques, Moving on to collaborative learning, which emphasizes the power of learning together. Peer learning is a powerful tool where students can teach each other, bridging gaps in understanding and making lessons more relatable. For example, students could pair up to practice English conversations or work jointly on projects. Furthermore, involving the community by inviting fluent English speakers to participate in class activities can enrich learning experiences and provide real-life context. Imagine a local business owner sharing how English helped them expand their business, inspiring students and highlighting the practical benefits of learning English. Third, tailor teaching methods to student needs. Every student learn differently, which is why it's crucial to tailor teaching methods to meet their unique needs. Contextual learning involves integrating local culture and stories into English lessons, or we can say cerita dongeng, making them more relevant and engaging. For example, using local folklore or cerita dongeng as a reading material or creating stories that incorporate local settings. Differentiated instructions means adapting our teaching styles and materials to accommodate different learning preferences, such as using visual aids for visual learners or organizing hands-on activities for kinesthetic learners. This approach ensures that all students feel included and can learn effectively. Fourth technique, foster an English speaking environment. Creating an immersive English speaking environment is key to encouraging language practice. Designating certain times or areas as English zone only can simulate immersions, helping students practice English in a natural setting. Additional language clubs or reading groups provide informal settings for students to engage with English through music, movies, and activities. For instance, an English club might host a movie night featuring English language films or organize a storytelling session where students share stories in English. And for the fifth strategy is strengthen reading and writing foundation. To build a solid foundation in English, we must focus on phonics and vocabulary. A strong understanding of phonics aids students in decoding new words, while an extensive vocabulary enhances comprehensions. Regular writing exercises such as journal, stories, or letters can significantly improve writing skills and boost confidence. For instance, students could write a daily journal entry in English about their hobbies or compose letters to pen pals in other countries, practicing both writing and reading comprehensions. In conclusions, teaching English in rural areas presents unique challenges but also offers the opportunity for creative and impactful solutions. By leveraging technology foster.
Salam sejahtera, saya Bernadette Ida Anak Minggu, nombor kad matrik M2023-1273 akan membentangkan mengenai analisis dan penutup. Kajian ini menggunakan pendekatan kualitatif dan subbidang yang dipilih adalah Phenemenology. Mengapakah pendekatan ini dipilih? Kerana ianya bersesuaian dengan kajian yang ingin dikaji, iaitu cabaran guru sekolah luar bandar yang mengajar bahasa Inggeris dan cara mereka mengatasinya dengan lebih terperinci dan mendalam. Dari segi proses penganalisisan dan pentafsiran data, perkara pertama yang perlu dilakukan adalah mengenal pasti data yang diperlukan berdasarkan tajuk dan objektif kajian. Yang kedua, menyusun data berdasarkan kategori. Yang ketiga, pentafsiran data. Dan yang keempat adalah penulisan dapatan maklumat melalui kajian yang telah dikaji. Kaedah untuk mendapatkan data adalah melalui temu bual secara berstruktur bertujuan untuk menemu bual 3 guru bahasa Inggeris yang mempunyai pengetahuan dan memberi pandangan mereka tentang cabaran yang dihadapi sepanjang mengajar bahasa Inggeris kepada pelajar di SK Lempur dan bagaimana cara mereka mengatasi cabaran yang dihadapi. Dari segi soalan temu bual ditentukan terlebih dahulu dan ditambah mengikut kesesuaian. Jawapan kepada soalan-soalan tersebut adalah dalam bentuk terbuka. Temu bual ini juga bertujuan untuk mendapatkan pemahaman yang menyeluruh tentang pelbagai kesukaran, perspektif dan pengalaman yang secara kolektif dapat mempengaruhi persekitaran pedagogi. Selain itu, pendekatan kualitatif ini dapat membuat penerokaan selok-belok pengajaran bahasa Inggeris dan akhirnya dapat menjadi penyumbang kepada peningkatan pendidikan di sekolah luar bandar. Data yang diperolehi akan dianalisis menggunakan kaedah hermeneutik di mana sumber data yang digunakan dalam kajian ini iaitu transkrip temu bual di antara pengkaji dengan peserta kajian yang mengupas mengenai cabaran dan cara mengatasi kesukaran yang dihadapi oleh guru bahasa Inggeris di pedalaman. Objektif kajian hendaklah dilihat terlebih dahulu sebelum melakukan proses pengekodan untuk memudahkan pengisian pada jadual yang disediakan. Untuk proses interpretasi teks secara terperinci dijalankan untuk struktur luaran dan dalaman dalam bentuk jadual supaya ianya mudah difahami. Struktur luaran merujuk kepada reaksi peserta kajian, manakala struktur dalaman adalah merujuk kepada emosi peserta kajian. Rumusan akan dibuat dalam bentuk perenggan yang merangkumi gabungan isi tersurat dan tersirat menggunakan ayat sendiri. Sebagai penutup, strategi dapat dilaksanakan oleh guru bahasa Inggeris yang mengajar di SK Lempur Kuala Kangsar. Yang pertama, mencari sumber-sumber alternatif daripada internet dan juga daripada perpustakaan. Yang kedua, memberi motivasi yang tinggi kepada murid. Yang ketiga, senantiasa mempagaikan kaedah pengajaran yang lebih interaktif supaya pelajar aktif dalam pembelajaran bahasa Inggeris dan guru juga perlu meningkatkan kemahiran bahasa Inggeris mereka melalui kursus maupun latihan-latihan yang berkaitan. Dengan usaha yang berterusan dan pendekatan yang sesuai, guru sekolah luar bandar dapat mengatasi cabaran dan dapat membantu pelajar mereka mencapai kebolehan yang lebih tinggi dalam bahasa Inggeris. Sekian, terima kasih.